Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Dank. History is Dank with Strider Wilson. Dankness from the Frickin' what up, dude? Welcome back to another ep of History is Dank, dude. I'm your host, Strider Wilson, dude. Fired up to be back in the studio with my freaking dank-ass dog and beast on the sticks. Aaron, dude, what's going on, dude?
What up?
Dude, I'm just freaking chilling, dude. Recently, and I don't know if you can tell, I actually lathered myself in sunscreen, dude. Lathered myself in sunscreen, but I got a little bit of sun recently, dude. Never been before, but went to, for the very first time, the Bahamas, dude. Which, sick-ass fact.
Where Tommy lives.
What's that?
Where Tommy lives?
Dude, exact. Bro, Aaron, here's what I was going to say. When you're in the Bahamas, like Tommy Bahama, which is, by the way, the worst style of clothing a man, I think, can have. It might be right behind Big Dog Tees, which I've done history of Big Dog Tees here. Give it a fucking listen. It's dank. But Tommy Bahama is basically what you get your dad when you have no idea who your dad is or what he likes. It's for what is a grown man interested in? I have no idea. Being alone? Maybe liking indoor cold temperatures. Maybe that's what a grown man likes. Definitely not his family. I don't know what a 57-plus-year-old man enjoys. Unless he's really good at golf, but he probably gets mad out there. He likes being, I think maybe they like being angry on their own volition, though. But they also, whether they like it or not, when it comes Christmas or their birthday, they're getting Tommy Bahama reversible. Here's what it is. It's a fun color on one side, like a bright orange, a bright green or a turquoise, maybe an islandish type of color you'd find down there on the beautiful fish or bird life. And then on the other side, a gray. Because, goes with anything. Do you hate your life? Get a reversible pullover. Is there anything that says my dreams did not work out than a reversible pullover? Maybe that and a Ford Focus, which I don't even think they make anymore. So I'll tell you, besides the fashion of Tommy Bahama that is bad, there is something about being on the island where you just go, you know what? Shirts shouldn't have buttons. Everyone should just be walking around in a loose-fitting linen, and just, it should be, and look, I think, got to say it now, I think Epstein's Island was down there. Fire Island is definitely down there, and one of those things too. And then we'll get into the history of the Bahamas here. It's got the good, the bad, and the ugly for sure. But the people are great people, I'll tell you that much. Can't say anything negative about the people. Great people down there. And honestly, a beautiful, beautiful country, archipelago country. It's like over 765 islands. Anyway, can't help but drop freaking facts, dude, when they're sitting in front of me, dude.
I think you mean the island from the Fire Festival.
That's what I mean. Oh, yeah.
Fire Island is a place off Long Island.
Yes, it is. That's like where people go on vacation. Yeah. It's where, Fire, is that in like the Midwest?
I think it's on Long Island.
Okay. Yes, the Fire Fest Island is down there. But I don't even really remember what the hell I was even going to say about that, but I'll tell you right now, I'm fired up on the Bahamas, dude. Oh, I was talking about the fashion, dude. You really just want to have no buttons. You really want to have a cool drink in your hand, maybe a calique, which is a dank-ass beer that they have down there, named after the sound that, like, for some reason, that cowbells, like when you have two bells on a cow that are walking, and it goes click, click, click. It's called calique. Great beach beer, dude. I mean, that beer and another beer called Sand, two domestic Bahamian beers, legit. Also, what I was going to say about the Bahamas is it is the Bahamas, dude. You know how when football players are like the Ohio State, annoying. Yeah. People are from the Bahamas, dude. It's the The United States isn't the United States officially. It's just United States of America. We say the, but in the Bahamas, it is the Bahamas, dude. Sick to have that article, dude. So before we dive in to today, I want to lead with a quote about the Bahamas from a sick-ass website just called Bahamas.com. So I did a really deep dive on research, but guess what? The research, like the waters around the Bahamian Islands, shallow. The richness of the people, the soul of the people, very deep, very strong, multifaceted, beautiful, much like the islands. So even the most experienced explorers have gotten lost in our abundant natural beauty. For centuries, our islands captivated settlers, traders, and invaders. While our shipping channel enchanted pirates who quickly discovered all of our great hiding places, to this day, there are still tales of treasure. However, the real treasure is our people. Bahamians may live for today, but we will never forget our past. Fired up on that, dude. Fired up on that. Fired up to dive in. We're going to be talking a little bit of pirates. We're going to be talking a little bit of treasure, dude. We're going to be talking a little bit about my own experience, do my primary research. I'm fired up, dude. But before we get into it, finally, the season of summer travel has arrived. I'm early on it. You know that. Whether you're heading out to a road trip or rushing through the airport, why not skip the usual stress of travel and chill out with Dadgrass? And don't worry, all their products are TSA approved. Let's go, dude. Right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. Go to dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/dank. Dude, I'm loving that, dude. Nice little Dadgrass pre-rolled for your summer travels. Let's go. And I'm loving the Bahamas, dude. I'm loving it. Archipelago, dude. Sick-ass word to say, dude. Sick-ass Scrabble word, dude. Right? Locate it. If you don't know it, where it is, just on a map. Maybe you're listening from abroad. You're not quite familiar. Picture where Florida is, dude. On the United States. Southern tip of Florida, dude. Right down there, bro. Kind of a little bit by Cuba, Haiti, the West Indies. It was formerly a British colony, right? Bahamas became an independent country within the Commonwealth of Britain in 1973. I believe they currently still have that status today. Official language, English. Currency, the Bahamian dollar, dude. Sick, dude. And just judging by GDP per capita, Bahamas, one of the richest countries in the Americas. That's including North America, South America, Central, if you will. So diving back even before the arrival of the colonials, which not so fun of a fact, I was going to say, but in 1492, when Columbus sailed the ocean blue, he made landfall in the New World on the island of San Salvador, right? So that's part of the Bahamas. And he described these islands as Baha Mar, a.k.a. shallow sea. Baha means small, shallow. I have a Baha dong, right? So Baha Mar, shallow sea, that's where you get Bahamas from. Sick, dude. When Columbus arrived, there were about 40,000, I'm going to say this, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, Lucayans, Lucyayans. Those were the people who were living in the Bahamas at the time. And within 25 years, all were wiped out due to disease, hardships, slavery that they were put under. I mean, there's some really disturbing stories of, the conquistadors killing for sport Lucayan people. Just really a lot of dark stuff going on. That's what I said when we started this pod. Bahamian history has it all. The beautiful, the enchanting, but also that dark side, because it was definitely a victim of imperialism and colonialism that we'll get into. But first, we're going really far back to who was there, who was living there, and where are the earliest traces. We have archaeological evidence from as early as 300 to 400 AD. An issue with the Bahamas is it's shallow waters, sea level. It's susceptible to sea level. It has this beautiful, and I was walking in it, powdery sand. You sink into it, this white, beautiful, sand, and not every island has it. There's some islands that have like a pink, like abalone color sand. It's pretty amazing. It's incredible, and we'll even get into one of the exports. It like creates a natural cement. It's sort of a limestone. It's ground down limestone is what that sand is. But you lose a lot of maybe stone structures or petroglyphs due to that. And there's always a breeze going there, dude. Always a sick ass breeze, which is another reason why you want to wear just that Miami Vice style, unbuttoned, chest flaring, short sleeved shirt. I want to say button down, but I want there to be no buttons on it. You should take the buttons off is what that shirt should be called, a button off. And so the Lucayan people, and hopefully I'm saying that correct, there's evidence of them being on, they came over from what they believe was the island of Cuba now, emigrated through probably, honestly, maybe even Mexico, because they spoke a Taino language, T-A-I with that little thing above it, N-O language, dude, part of the Arawakan languages, dude. And if you look at these, bro, sick ass, it was they didn't write anything down. They do actually kind of know how it sounded phonetically just from like journaling and stuff, which is pretty freaking gnarly. But let me get to this language here, dude. It was a native language of a lot of these Taino tribes living in the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Turks Caicos, Hispaniola. That's what they called the island of Cuba before it was Cuba, Bahamas, and Jamaica. A lot of the resources they used, it showed that they traded just based on kind of on the wood that they were using in trading in that area, which we'll get into more in a little bit. But anyway, they've found on, I believe, the island of Caicos, like a ball court there, which means they were settled there for quite some time. If you're going to cruise, archaeologically, this makes sense of like, you're not going to build a ball court or a sporting area if you're just not there for a while, if you're passing through, or more like a hunter gathering or just cruising. It was like, no, we're posting up here, we're living here, this is where we go play our sick ass game. So that also just leads to, if you have the development of sport, it means people are comfortable, they're living they have the society is thriving, or at least was up until Columbus came and was a complete freaking schmoll, dude. So very, very gnarly, dude. So now skipping forward quite some time, so say we're taking off around, that's I did already bounce around a little bit and bring us up to the Columbus time, but what's sad is you want to spend more on this Lucayan culture, but a lot of it is gone, a lot of it is erased because the people are erased because of disease and so quickly, and then you are only, what the information you have is through the European lens. So it's one of the tragedies of the New World discovery that happens in basically every area of it. The Bahamas is no exception there, but just important to point out that the archipelago did have legit population and a thriving native population. And on different islands. I mean, even to this day, there are, what did I say, about 765 islands. Only about 60 of those islands are actually inhabited, and there's about 2,000 smaller land masses and stuff that you can just straight up, snorkel out to, dude. It's just one of the sickest lifestyles. Jet ski everywhere, bro. So sick, dude. So sick, dude. So now jumping ahead from 1492, the first settlement, European settlement this is, of course, is from the English Puritans known as the Eleutherian adventurers. So they're seeking religious freedom, right? Separationists from the Church of England and all that. They're like, dude, we're out, bro. We don't want to be persecuted. We want to worship in our own way. There's this guy, Captain William Sales, great name for a captain, but spelled S-A-Y-L-E. He sailed to the American colonies after arriving in the Bahamas, because the thing about the Bahamas is you do have to be a skilled fisherman. And when I was just there and I was just, talking to some of the tour guides that we had and stuff down there, legit ass dudes, dude. And they're like, early on, the natural resources, food-wise and like what grows there isn't much. It's not like, you're thinking, oh, there's coconut trees. There are palm trees and stuff there now, which are legit. But it's fish. You got to be a good fisherman. You got to be able to catch that fish in a legit way. Conch is the fish that they eat, Konch. You can have it in all different forms, very dank. But the colonists, they were struggling, dude. They were just praying, dude. They were praying probably for St. Peter to cruise by and teach them how to fish, dude. Something like that. But really, Captain Sale's like, you know what? Let me freaking just get in a boat and go ask Massachusetts Bay Colony for some help. They do give him some help. And the settlers, they give them supplies, food, and everything like that, so they can go have a colony down there and not die. And you don't want this to be a freaking straight up a Roanoke situation, dude. And these colonists give something called Brasiletto wood. And I mentioned wood earlier. Brasiletto, you're hearing the word Brazil. So it's sort of Brazilian style wood. It has the name Brazil, but it did grow all over, not all over, but like Colombia, Guatemala, Ecuador, a lot of, in this region, this is where this Brasiletto wood would grow. It's kind of looks like a rubber tree, but was very good for, it served a lot of purposes, medicinal purposes. It's just a highly valuable and highly traded wood. And what this showed was that the fact that these settlers had this wood, and I know we're jumping in time, but this is something that was ingrained in Bahamian culture, like having this wood shouldn't even say Bahamian, because this was prior to even Bahamas being the Bahamas that they are now. Lucayan culture of trading with countries, or, tribes and cultures, I should say, before there was, quote, countries, trading for this wood, this Brasiletto wood that doesn't grow in the Bahamas. So it just showed, once again, how complex the society was, an extensive trade network, and getting this sick-ass wood that's used to make instruments, dude, so you can jam. That's tight. Got to be able to freaking jam with the bros, dude. Also got to be able to, serenade the ladies, dude. It also was used for teas, proven effectiveness against tuberculosis, dysentery, dude. If you've ever played Oregon Trail, that's what you get all the time, dude. So other sick-ass stuff, dude. It's mentioned in pharmaceutical databases from back in the day. Helps ease inflammation, can be used as it's a sort of antibiotic properties, reducing fevers, tonic, strength of the body. So very, very valuable wood. Maybe the only more valuable wood would be Joe Maurice's boner, or wood to build a friggin' sick-ass vessel. So think about the Bahamas, dude. You have a vessel, dude, aka your boat, and you put your boys in it, and then you're cruising, dude. When I talked to the guy down there, dude, legit dude named Keyshawn, one of the sickest dudes ever, dude, and he's like, bro, he's like, in the Bahamas, I asked him, I was like, is there like a rainy season, or is the weather ever bad? He goes, no, man. It's like this 320 days a year, bro. We get rain after that. What is that, 45 days of the year? And he's like, dude, it's like perfect out, dude. Breeze all the time. He's like, dude, that's why. And I'm saying, dude, he's like, people, dude, no problems, bro. Just sick ass vibes, dude. And that's what I love. And he's like, dude, he goes, dude, if you live down here, you have your vessel, you can just go he's like, you want to go to another island? Boom. You cruise, you get in your vessel, you go. And I'm like, dude, bringing your boys, doing that, dude, so rad, bro. Wearing shades, posting up, dude, giving each other fives, those what up nods to maybe your boys on a different boat, just passing each other the what ups, slowing down so you hit them with your wake, dude, being, considerate in that regard. And this leads me exactly into our next segment of the pod, which is 1700, and how am I not going to talk the Caribbean? How am I not going to talk the Bahamas? Even mentioned from the Bahamian website itself, pirates, savages, bro. Actually, that's a misnomer. Not really savages, because they had a code. We're talking age of piracy, 1600s to early 1700s, dude. Privateers, pirates, dude. You got everyone's down there. Everyone who's anyone in piracy is in the Bahamas. Blackbeard, Calico Jack, Anne Bonny, Mary Read, Henry Morgan, whoever it is, they're there. And you got the stories of treasure. My boy Joseph Bannister, dude, from the very, very, very first pod that I did of History is Dank was on him. He was over there in Puerto Rico, fighting and evading the frickin' English and just being a beast. Of course, these pirates did bad stuff. heinous stuff. And, we don't want to celebrate that, dude. But they're ingrained in the culture of the Bahamas because the shallow waters there, and if you're operating as a pirate there and you know how to navigate those shallow waters, even a superior ship with superior firepower also might be a heavier ship that can't get into those shallow waters, that doesn't have the tides memorized like you do. Dude, even when I was ripping on a jet ski, I was like, dude, I got to keep my eyes on the sand, bro. Don't want to go flying over those handlebars. You had to look for that turquoise blue, that beautiful Bahama hue, so that to go freaking rip that jet ski through. You see how sick that rhyme was, what I just did right there, dude? Freaking artistry, dude. It's really got to freaking pat myself on my dong for that one, dude. But there's a guy named William Kidd, a pirate that somewhat well known, not a famous pirate, not a good pirate. I don't want to celebrate a pirate now. I want to go, this guy kind of actually did kind of suck as a pirate. He actually got lucky, was the biggest thing that he did. And I was lucky to be able to go to the Bahamas. And he set sail as a privateer. So he had friends who were wealth. He had elite friends who backed him, dude, right? He was accepted by the government, dude. His boy Belmont, dude, Lord Belmont, bro. He knows that kid's a captain. He goes, bro. And, this is like 100 years war, 30 years war, always going on. England, France feuding, Spanish feuding. They're all, wanting to, have their foot in the territories in the New World and rape the lands, if you will. And honestly, the people's there too. Very, very sad. And you have the Belmont backing his boy, William Kidd. And he's like, look, dude, I'm going to give you a privateering license so you can go murk French ships only. Go down there, and in fact, me and my wealthy bros, we're going to invest in you, and you split whatever you take with us. So basically, it's just wealthy dudes, a lord, so a guy of the state being like, yeah. And this is called privateering. It's basically it's pirates with some rules, and basically saying you can't, because a true pirate doesn't give a fuck. They take everyone, they swear, they have their own code. They are the enemy of all mankind, right? Privateer is the enemy of only other states, in this case, French ships. So he cruises. He sets sails for Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. So he's cruising around over there, and he's not getting lucky, dude. Half of his crew dies of disease, dude. The other half is getting surly. There's no prizes. They're not getting any booty, dude. Okay, and they're just horny for booty, dude. And in fact, there's this guy William Moore who starts talking shit to William Kidd. Oh boy. And he's like, bro, you don't talk. He goes, I dare you to talk more shit. And then Moore's like, you're acting like a kid. These guys are really big on puns. Turns out, Kidd picked up a quote, heavy bucket and hit him on the head, killing him with a heavy bucket. Kind of insane that he did that. Maybe his intent wasn't to kill. He has guns, swords, cannons, everything. He's the captain. He could have been like, dude, you try to be mutinous, I'll freaking send you to the noose. So he hits him in the head with a bucket, which is also insane that like that detail is captured through this long in history, that we know in the Indian Ocean in 1697 of August, William Kidd, actually no, I'm skipping my data ahead a little bit, but in the 1690s, that he freaking hit some dude on the head on his deck of the Adventure Galley. That was the name of his 34 gun ship. Anyway, in 1697, he attacks a convoy of Indian treasure ships, East India. And he gets lucky, bro. He gets lucky. That's an act of piracy. Oh no, this is just an act of piracy. Murk some stuff, nothing crazy, but he was under pressure from his crew. And now this word's getting back, oh, William Kidd turned full pirate, bad, right? Because he was only supposed to take French ships. And he goes, fuck it, dude. I'm going full pirate now. January 30th, 1698, he attacks a Quiddah merchant ship, so a Moorish merchant ship carrying Romanian treasures. He jacks about 15,000 British pounds, which is about 2 million bones today, dude, right? Gets super freaking rich, dude. Super freaking stoked. He goes, all right, dude, we got to bail out of these waters. Takes a route down to the, takes one of those Gulf Stream channels or whatever is not the Gulf Stream, but one of those sick ass currents all the way out to the Caribbean. Gets there, buries his treasure on Gardner Island off of Long Island. Fun fact, I was in these Exumas very close to the very southern portion of the Exumas, and the Exumas are like the middle portion of the Bahamas. There's more islands below, there's some more islands up top. In fact, the capital, Nassau, is more north of the Exumas, so it's Turks and Caicos, and like Florida Keys area. I was like in the middle, but the southern portion of that middle, so the most northern portion of the southern portion of the Bahamas, if you're still following me now, is where Long Island is. And I could see Long Island from the island that I was on. And Gardner Island was just off that. So this was a sort of my roommate's best friend's cousin's roommate scenario of treasure burying here for me. And
a classic scenario.
Very classic. Very, very classic. And when he goes, he buries his treasure there in the Bahamas, has a sick-ass map, whole 9 yards. Then he goes, he's afraid now because he's done this, he's committed this act of piracy, but he's like, dude, I want to go back to my friend. I need to go back to Lord Belmont, who's in New York now, right? This is when New York, the American colonies, are under British rule at this time. And so it's British. He goes back to a part of England and a part of the empire. And he goes, dude, I need some help, bro. I buried some treasure, all this stuff. Too bad Lord Belmont goes, nah, dude, you freaking betrayed. I staked claim on your name, or I backed your name. Now you're making me look bad. He goes, you're going to jail, bro. He arrests him. During that, when he's arrested, he's trying to, maybe they torture him. I don't know what they do, but he divulges the location of the treasure on Gardner Island. It was recovered, so that's not still there. But then, he gets the news, dude, you can't be doing that. That's what they do to pirates. So William the Kid was not smart. He should have just kept hiding out in the waterways like a Blackbeard or something like that. Or waited a few more years and he could have been given amnesty, which happens in Nassau in 1718, which we're about to get to. But what's interesting is there's a pirate William Kidd. There's another pirate William Cat. There's an island called Cat's Island because Cat's treasure is supposed to be there. William Kidd also buried treasure that he mentioned in the quote Indies. This is presumably in the Caribbean. He could mean the Indian Ocean, but presumably they say this is in the Caribbean according to his journal and what he referenced, and that has been lost. So maybe that's on Long Island. Maybe that's on an island I don't even know about. Maybe that was in the island that I was on, looking at Long Island. So crazy to think about that. Oh, it would be so sick to find buried treasure, dude, unless it's cursed. So now we're going to get into a little bit back to the Bahamas, dude. Had to do a quick little detour into piracy and tell you a sick little pirate story about some guy getting lucky who wasn't even a very good pirate and made bad choices. Follow the rules, dude. That's a good choice. Stay in school, kids. You know what I'm saying, dude? But also do cruise on a boat with your boys, dude. But maybe don't murk. But we're going to get back into the Bahamas. But before we do that, have you ever just been too damn high? Look, we've all been there. Today's weed, finding your perfect dose, can be a dangerous game. It's a game I don't want to play. Dangerous game is a game that people probably play in the Bahamas. It's savage. So light up the weed of yesteryear so you can chill out like they did back during the summer of love. Dadgrass is reviving the pleasure of the casual toke, dude. And you know it's summer season, dude. You're traveling for weddings, dude. I'm traveling for boys' trips. I go on a lot of boys' trips, dude. Bunches of them, dude. Rehearsal dinners, dude. They can be stressful if you're traveling for a wedding. Boys' trips can be stressful. You're worried, dude. My dog's away. I miss my fiance, dude. Take a second to chill out, dude. Okay, without being so high. You can fumble. You don't want to fumble your big toast if you're at that wedding. You don't want to, fumble if you're on an ATV on a boys' trip. Dadgrass can help you chill out and get in a euphoric mood while keeping your head clear. That's what's up. Also, with this summer of travel, here's the best part. Dadgrass, it's all products are TSA approved. You can cruise with it, dude. You can cruise with Dadgrass, legal, organic, smokable hemp that relaxes your body and mellows your mood. Also, as always, all Dadgrass products are federally legal for ages 18 and over, and it ships right to your door anywhere in the U.S. And, like I just said, it's TSA approved. Stoke on that. You can take it with you, dude. Stoke on it and toke on it, dude. So whether you're looking for a new buzz or a chill way to enjoy an old favorite, Dadgrass will leave you in a euphoric mood, bro. I'm fired up on those pre-rolls. I'm bringing them on all the boys' trips, dude. When I was out in the Bahamas, I was stargazing, dude, the stars at night. Gorgeous, dude. Having a little Dadgrass, looking up at those stars, dude. No light pollution. Just beautiful, dude. Beautiful time kicking it with the bros. Literally zero stress, dude. So it's just the right way to do it. And right now, Dadgrass is offering our listeners 20% off your first order when you go to dadgrass.com/dank. Go to dadgrass.com/dank for 20% off your first order. That's dadgrass.com/dank. All right, dude, back to the Bahamas, dude. Nassau, right? Established as a commercial port 1670. Overrun by lawless seafaring men, aka pirates, privateers, buccaneers. Years later, I mean, Nassau's been destroyed, you know, many times over, famously twice by Spanish troops, again by French and Spanish navies. You know, pirates are looting cargo ships, all that. 1718, the King of England appoints this dude named Woodes Rogers, good ass name, to serve as the royal governor. His job is to restore order. He does. He offers amnesty to those who surrendered. A lot of pirates did, you know, for their crimes. He's like, look, dude, just surrender. You're chill. It's fine. Let's just cut it out. A lot of them do. About 300. The rest, including Blackbeard, bounce, dude. I think we're due for a Blackbeard episode one of these days, but haven't gotten it to yet. I'm trying to be too cute with more obscure pirates. I'm trying to be cute, dude. I always just try to be cute, dude. So, jumping ahead, Bahamas, dude, doing their thing. And in 1783, this is when you have the end of the American Revolution. 1776, we declare independence. We fight the war. 1783, the war is won. So how does this affect the Bahamas? You know, you have your Eleuthera down there, of course, but you get more Eleuthera, and you get slave-holding Eleuthera, who were Eleutheran, I should say, who were loyal to the British government during this time. They retreat, right? They retreat. There's a lot of Spanish settlements down in the Bahamas at this time, actually. And which makes sense. That's where Columbus landed, even though I believe he had Italian heritage, but was flying under the Spanish flag. And these loyalists go down there and bring sort of this plantation culture to the Bahamas. Not good. And they sort of like peacefully force out any of the Spanish that were there. Like, maybe there were some shots fired and probably, but no violence that's written about, really. Says without firing a shot, but, you know, just sort of just being like, this is going to be ours now. Probably because they came down in overwhelming numbers, but they brought with them, remember that first settlement that I mentioned from the guy Saley, who had to freaking straight up sail his way up to the Boston, Massachusetts colony to ask for supplies. These loyalists fleeing now the independent America, fearing, you know, the freaking gallows, they bring agricultural knowledge, shipbuilding expertise, and sort of take that and knowledge of the textile industry, which also comes into play again in the American Civil War. The Bahamas benefits greatly from this because the Northern Navy, you know, remember the north of the United States, a lot of shipping and stuff like that. The Southern United States was a slaveholding population, growing textiles, tobacco, and such, and crops, and they didn't have the navies. But so there's a blockade on the southern harbors. You know, Savannah, Florida, the major ports were blockaded by Union ships. Excuse me. So the Bahamas and these loyalists who are there get very rich off of shipping textiles and secretly, you know, smuggling textiles from the South and making like hand over fist during the American Civil War. Once the Civil War is ended, that sort of goes away. Also, it should be noted that slavery in the Bahamas ended in 1838, so prior to the American Civil War. So they were just mainly taking textiles and stuff and then shipping them out using Bahamas as a port. So end of the Civil War ends that era of prosperity. 1919, the 18th Amendment prohibits alcohol. The colonial government expanded Prince George Wharf in Nassau to accommodate the flow of alcohol. So times are booming again now, more smuggling operations. When Prohibition ends in 1934, these revenues drop. So does the collapse of sponge harvesting, which was a huge export. Sea sponges, dude. Okay? It's exactly what you think it is. a sponge that you can use in the bath as a natural exfoliator, household cleaner, applying, removing makeup, painting, decoration. They also regenerate. So I was always kind of like, why are they doing cloning in Cuba? Remember that? You're like, they cloned a sheep in Cuba. I think it has to do with the amount of sponges that are there, because sponges, the way you harvest them is you go down, you wait for them to grow. Usually it takes 3 to 4 years. And there's multiple types of sponges, hard ones, whatever, but the ones that we want for as humans that have that soft exoskeleton, the exfoliating properties that we want. You clip it, but you leave at least an inch, maybe more, so it can regrow. And even if you take that inch or any part of it and drop it somewhere else, an exact clone, so not like another new thing, a clone of the previous sponge will grow exactly. So my dome, I was like, whoa, dude, cloning, dude. Very gnarly, dude. Aaron, would you ever want a clone, dude, of you? Like to be 2 places at once, to be like a dad, but then you could also be at softball. No one would ever know the difference but you. But then what if your clone gets free thoughts, dude? You know what I'm saying? That'd be scary.
Totally. Unchill.
You'd have to have a mustache to be the only distinction, dude. Also, what if my clone was a clone and have the same size small hog, so I'd be fine. Otherwise, I'd be worried my fiance might be bouncing on me, dude. Although she says my dog's nice, which feels nice, I guess.
I don't know. A copy of a copy is never good.
Yeah, never nice is, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, dude. Sponge industry, for some reason, collapsed at that time. Then you have, and now one of the biggest industries in the Bahamas, tourism. You get the Hotel and Steamship Service Act of 1898, opens the Bahamian doors to the world. The government support needed for the construction of hotels and subsidized service. Since then, everything from, it brings in everything, you know, a lot of Americans, you know, the closure of Cuba to Americans, that helped boost Bahamian tourism. Still get that, you know, a different culture, but you want that island experience, that weather. So very, very gnarly, dude. Very sick. July 10th, 1973, like I mentioned earlier, Bahamas becomes a free sovereign country. Excuse me, real quick. My allergies have been boning me, dude.
Uncool.
My allergies are boning me, dude. Dude, talk about being an ancient man. Oh, I just survived winter. Sick. Luckily, I hunted pretty well in the fall, dude. Was able to preserve some meats, dude, feed my family. Now it's spring. I'm horny. I'm fired up. Oh, wait, I have a sniffle. Tough, dude. Our ancestors were tough. Although I do doubt that they had as bad of allergies as we do. I wonder if allergies is a modern development. This is a good question to ask. We're born, they have theories on this. We're like, okay, a kid born in any, pick a third world country, he's born in a manger, Jesus style, exposed to germs immediately, only breastfeeding, getting all that nutrients from the mother's, what her immune system built up and all that. And that kid's going to have no asthma, no allergies. Then you have a kid born in, United States, super clean ass room, whatever, this and that. Then he ends up getting allergies and all that type of shit. So maybe it is a modern development. I don't know. All I'm saying is when you're horny in the spring and you've got a little head cold, and not even a head cold, like you feel off. Dude, feeling off. Do you think our hunter-gatherer ancestors had time to feel off?
No.
No. Hell no. It's why you bone. It's why you nut fast. So you can just nut. And then go, a lion might get you. But you got to get your nut first, dude. You know what I'm saying? Just solved history right there. Your nut. Anyway, dude, back to the Bahamas. Popular seafood on the island. I mentioned this, conch. Okay, so 30 of the approximately 700 islands are inhabited by humans, that is. It's right on the edge of the infamous Bermuda Triangle, so that's close by. Wonder if any treasure disappeared there, dude. What's your take on the Bermuda Triangle, Aaron?
I think it's cool. I don't know if it's real, but I think
I
it's
don't
cool.
know either. I'm like, I got to research the Bermuda Triangle. I think I got to do an episode on the Bermuda Triangle, dude.
Yeah.
The Bahamas are sick. Beautiful, sick to vacation. You know, you want to hang out there Winnie the Pooh style. I wish, that's what I was wanted to say earlier, is I wish the rules down there where you could wear, you know, tops, no bottoms. That'd be tight. But that sounds like it might be only Epstein Island type stuff. So probably not. Probably can't do that. Tops for that. Tops, no bottoms, adults only. Thank you very much. A lot of drug trade happened there apparently in the 80s. Almost 90% of the cocaine entered the U.S. through the Bahamas. No nuclear tests can happen there. Nuclear ban treaty, signed it February 4th, 2005. Has the world's third largest registry of ships, dude. It's sick. If I was had a ton of money, like a billionaire, I would not get a boat.
Not even a mega yacht?
Not a mega yacht. I would never get a mega yacht. I would probably rather just have like a little sick ass boat for, I'm immediately taking back what I said, just cruising around because that is sick. But maybe I'll get into gliding, dude. You just got to get into some sort of strange flight activity if you've got that much dough. You know what I mean? Like if you're a super rich dude, you got to get into some sort of obscure machinery hobby, you know, gliding, Chinese spy ballooning, you know, stuff like that. No income or sales tax for the Bahamas residents. I like that. Majority of government revenue comes from tariffs and import fees. Tourism, about 40 to 45% of the nation's economy, because it has the sickest ass beaches, the dankest flora, legit fauna, and like I said, amazing people, dude. Also, you can gamble there, which is so sick, dude. So it's just a great place to rip it on a jet ski, kick it with your boys. Also, you know what? Not a bad place to go on the honeymoon with the lady, not gonna lie. If you're thinking about it, it's probably a sick ass spot to go. I shouldn't even say probably, I should just say definitely, because it is. Also, dude, my Dank bro, Clay Thompson, Bahamian, dude. His dad, Michael Thompson's from the Bahamas, dude. Legit, dude. So, fired up on this ep, fired up on the Bahamas, dude. Go check it out. Don't wear Tommy Bahama unless you know you want a nice, versatile reverse pullover. In that case, go ahead and get one. You're going to be thanking yourself when you go, hey, I just don't know what to wear. Oh, I'm going to travel light. Guess what? 2 for 1. Consider it done. If you're looking to get your mom's boyfriend something for Christmas, dude, get him that. Also, it might ensure your mom doesn't get boned by your mom's boyfriend, because she's not going to want to bone a dude in a Tommy Bahama pullover, dude, unless it's on the fun side. All their clothes are too big. I used to sling that stuff at Nordstrom, dude. I was selling it left and right, dude. Selling it left and right to just, you know, kids would come in, dude. What do I get my dad here? Good luck, dude. Here, give this to your dad, then give him some space. All right, dude. Freaking fired up. Another rep, dude. Check out the Patreon, dude. I also did a little bit on, there's a strike going on with the writers in Hollywood now, so obviously I'm on their side, dude. You know, it's something I'm looking to get into, so check it out. I did a little bit more on what's going on the Patreon, and talked a little bit about May Day and labor and stuff like that, so check that out. Leave a review, questions, comments, that whole thing. Actually, you know what? Before we do bounce out of here, I think I did have one question I wanted to answer, because we haven't done that in a minute. Here's a question. Strider and Aaron, friggin' what up, beasts? I had a cue for the pod. I'm graduating college this spring, and I was wondering if you and your boys did one last dank thing that you remember as your final act of college. Or if you could go back, what would you do with your boys one last time? Everyone's going to go their own ways, and I want to spend these final moments doing OP shit with the fellas. Hank. P.S. Graduating with a history degree. If you ever need an outsourced researcher, I could do that. Feel free, and love the pod so much. Legit. Thank you very much, Hank. Fired up that you got a history degree, dude. understanding how the world operates, dude. Making sure we're not doomed to repeat our mistakes, Hank. So, dude, this is a great question, dude. I love that you want to create a nice memory with your boys. I think that's exactly what you should be doing. So how do you do that, dude? I mean, it could be sick if you go to an island in the Bahamas that, you know, might cost you some coin, but you go there and you do hang out Winnie the Pooh style. You all just decide that's what we want to do, and you all just want to hang out with shirts on, no bottoms, and get nice and tan on your dinks. That'd be fun. You'd go, hey, remember how bad friggin', you know, my buddy Bryce's dick got burnt? That was gnarly. He needed a lot of aloe. We had to apply that for him. You know, that could be an interesting time to spend together. But if you want something more cost effective, I think you got to throw a sick rager, dude. You got to throw a sick rager at the pad that you guys are at. You got to maybe even put a theme on it. I would maybe go, I love a Miami Vice style party. I love that. Always fun. Do something like that, or do like a nice competition day, like a beer Olympics is fun, but of course, you know, do practice with safety, you know, drink water, hydrate, don't do too much, enjoy responsibly. But a nice friendly competition is always unifying and creates great memories that are lasting, dude. And I didn't do anything with my boys, if you ask. I'm sad on that. I think we just kind of chilled. We would just have, you know, we'd have parties, you know, pretty much rolling every weekend. I think we just kind of kept it cruising. What about you, Aaron? What do you think?
What did he say? OP?
Yeah, doing OP shit with the fellas. On point, I think is what he means.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this is for spring break?
No, last time rager.
Oh, last
you know,
time
like,
rager.
I think colleges are done pretty close here in May, so.
Yeah.
Senior year send off.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, just having a rager. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Star watch together if you're in an area. That was beautiful that I did in the Bahamas. Star watching with my boys, dude. Star gazing, dude. It was so sick. Sitting back in beanbags. It was so tight. Just have good talks. If you have a jacuzzi, you know, put your feet in there, talk. So sick. Make a pact, dude, to meet 5 years.
There you go.
That's a pact is a good call.
Yeah. Slice
Maybe
your
even
hands.
a time capsule. Could be fun. All right, dudes. Fired up. Sick ass app. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay stoked. Late. Thanks, Aaron.